Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Julie and I primarily make content surrounding topics such as mental health, makeup, as well as music. Today we are fusing mental health and makeup. What else is new? I know how to sprinkle mental health into everything, but I'm just gonna do my makeup and I'm gonna talk to you about some ish going on in my life, I guess, like life update, following up on my video with my mental health update. So I think the way I want to do this is kind of like a therapy session, although there is no therapist present. Therapy really is something that needs to be structured in a way that works for you. And for me, I really need to start with talking about whatever in my day-to-day has happened that has been difficult, that I want to get some validation and coping skills and all that fun stuff. Then I usually let the therapist kind of ask their questions and do what they think is best, unless I'm like, no, this is too triggering and I don't agree with it. And then at the end, I actually talk about positive things going on and my goals and everything, and that helps me to wrap up a session and be able to move forward with my day without being extremely triggered from talking about triggering topics, because my brain is coming out like, hey, look at all this positive-ish going on. Yeah, you feel like crap, but at least you got some good things going on. And yeah, so that's just kind of what I prefer. So although none of you are my therapist, the reason that I am making this video, so here's the update. In the previous video where I talked about my mental health update, I was trying to remain hopeful, which of course I still am, because I had found a therapist who it seemed promising because she had a ton of experience and she specialized in eating disorders, trauma, and DBT, and I felt that DBT was going to be the right treatment option for me. When I talked to her on the phone, I liked her. She seemed validating and nice, but when I had my intake with her, so your girl had some countertransference going on. So countertransference is where the client views the therapist as someone in their life, not intentionally, but the therapist reminds them of someone in their life, and this could be good or bad, but it's something that needs to be discussed because obviously it's going to affect the therapeutic relationship, and that sucks. So that's what happened. I can't see therapists who are too old. I need to see a woman first of all, and I need to see someone who's in their 20s to 40s who practices trauma-informed care for real, doesn't just think, oh, I do it because I know. No. They need to go watch my video on trauma-informed care. I have a deep understanding of it, and I need a therapist who is warm, empathic, validating, real, genuine, and uses humor where appropriate in session to kind of get me to like lighten up a bit and not be so serious, but not in a way that's invalidating. And that for therapists is a really advanced tool, and they may be hesitant to use it because they don't want to trigger the client. And although those things are understandable, humor is just so important, and I just really need a therapist who mostly utilizes a humanistic approach, which is the basis of trauma-informed care, okay? So this woman, she's not a bad person. I don't dislike her, but I've never been so triggered in an intake in my entire life, and it wasn't because of the topics we were talking about, because she didn't do an intake where it was like, tell me your family history, tell me your trauma history. It didn't go like that at all. But the way that it went was we were talking about my presenting issues, and originally it said, I came to you because I want to do DBT, and she was kind of like, oh, well, distress tolerance is for physiological symptoms, and you don't really have those as much. It seems more mental for you, like in my head versus in my body, although I do have physical symptoms. When I do have a panic attack, it is a little more mental, although it is physical. So, you know, she wasn't completely wrong. This person is very knowledgeable and knows her ish. The problem for me is I need a therapist who has both. They have to be doing the trauma-informed care. We have to have a relationship. The relationship is the most important part of therapy. and they have to have the knowledge. So it's really hard because if I see someone who's young, like in their 20s, around my age, usually they're wonderful and we connect, but they don't have the training or experience to treat my conditions. And that's happened a lot. I've had a therapist who was like, yeah, I know a little about CBT, but I don't do it because I don't fully understand it. And I was like, huh? I thought like all therapists did CBT, and even from my internship experience, I will be doing CBT with clients in my next internship because I'm very well versed in it and experienced. I had an appointment lined up with this therapist for tomorrow morning, and I was dreading it and terrified because that appointment was so triggering. I got 2.5 hours of sleep that night because my mind was racing out of control. It was bigger than anxiety, and currently I feel like I'm not in a hypomanic episode because I don't have bipolar disorder, but the anxiety is just so out of control. I don't know what else to compare it to because my thoughts just go and go and go and go. I mean, I'm lucky that I am able to fall asleep and stay asleep, but when I had that appointment, I was like, I can't live like this, and it's just too much. And it was countertransference because I've had older mental health providers where I felt a power dynamic, like I'm the therapist, you're the client, I'm knowledgeable and experienced, and I know what I'm talking about. And that's not trauma-informed care, sorry. Like, yeah, you got knowledge, that's great. That's only part of the whole picture of what therapists should have. So you need a bedside manner. And this woman, she was really nice over email, but then in person, over video chat, she just came across as very blunt and to the point, and that's not a bad thing. That for many of you, that might actually be a good fit. Not for me. I cannot. I need the emotion I'm experiencing validated first, and then we can get into other things. But yeah, and I'm not going to get too into like all the things that were super triggering and ish, but it was just a nightmare. So I have a therapist that I saw for many years who I had a wonderful relationship with. And the only reason I stopped seeing her is because she was so far away, but currently therapists are doing telehealth. I gave her a call today, and according to her voicemail, she doesn't take my insurance anymore, which was really upsetting. But that's, that's the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I don't know. This is a big thing that frustrates me with mental health care in the US because of insurance. There's so many limitations, and there's certain major insurances where you're more likely to find a provider, whereas the insurance I'm on, I like it and it's been good, but it can be hard to find certain providers. So there is a wonderful tool, Therapy Matcher, that I love, and I filled out a form on there today in hopes of finding someone, although I was very, very specific about what I'm looking for, as I explained to you all, and I don't think they have the resources to find someone that specific, so I'm gonna just kind of have to interview people on the phone. But it's annoying because like on the phone it'll sound like, yeah, this sounds like a good fit, and then we'll have an appointment and I'm like, no. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 9. I really struggle with the therapeutic relationship with providers. I'm so easily triggered and invalidated, and I struggle with confrontation to actually tell my therapist like, hey, that bothered me, can you not say that? And yeah, and just like with friends, when I have problems and I can't see past it and just kind of cut them off, I do that with therapists. I think it's more justified with therapists though, because as I said, if the relationship's not there, then what the heck are you gonna do, So anyway, you're gonna just see a cringy magic trick. We got our false lashes on. I put one of them on completely with my finger, and I have never felt more powerful, which was great. I'm finishing up my eyes, doing my face, whatever. Okay, so to wrap up, we talked about therapy and such. I am looking for a new therapist, but that is also very hard for me, especially because I've seen so many providers around here and been like, nope, not a good fit. That wasn't a great experience. Moving forward beyond that, my mental health update video was pretty intense, and I was very brutally honest. I'm having a lot of trouble getting my thoughts together and actually talking to you guys today. I really was not up for filming today, but I want to get a video up today, and I want to be open about my mental health and talk about these things and cope and do my makeup and follow my routine. When I'm home, I'm really good about following my routine and having structure, because without structure, I completely fall apart and I'm scared I'll end up in bed. I don't want that to happen. So over the weekend, while I was at my boyfriend's house, I had a really difficult time and felt really depressed and low, and I did not practice any hygiene. I didn't brush my teeth, I didn't shower, I didn't do my skincare, nothing. It was gross. And people don't talk about it enough that a part of depression and a lot of mental health conditions is your hygiene suffers, and it's really upsetting. Please don't judge people for struggling with their hygiene that struggle with their mental health, because it's not intentional. It's just really hard to function and take care of yourself, especially when you have such low energy and motivation from being so horribly depressed. And believe it or not, I'm sure many of you have noticed this or are struggling being depressed right now. Even people without mental health conditions that have not struggled with their mental health all that much due to being socially isolated and in quarantine, suffering through a traumatic historical event, are now depressed and are experiencing the same depressive symptoms as people who've lived with depression for a really long time. And that's really sad. Mental illness has been on the rise for a long time. It seems like right now it's pretty out of control. And it's really sad to think about, because it's really hard to find a therapist at the moment, because a lot of people need to see one and they're booked solid and there's wait lists. Even with my old therapist, she told me if I wanted to come back, I could, but she couldn't guarantee that she would have my slot because she couldn't hold it, which makes sense, but that she may not have a slot at all. And I was like, so there's no backup plan. Currently, I am spinning and freaking out internally, and I don't have a therapist. And I am looking, as I said, I'm trying, but it is really hard to cope and stay afloat. I've been talking about some negative, upsetting-ish for a while, so you're not my therapist. You cannot help me process, and I understand that. I'm not asking for that. You're just watching me because you like me, or you're bored, or you like makeup, whatever it may be. Thank you. I love the validation and support, and connecting with other people is so important, because it's really hard for me in person, especially because I have social anxiety and everything. So I'm really appreciative. I am so excited that I reached 100 subscribers. So that's a life update and a milestone. I've always wanted to have a channel, but I've been terrified because of my self-esteem and being self-conscious, but also from my trauma history of bullying and knowing there's people out there that if they found this channel, they would probably sit and hate watch me, which is really sad. And you know what? I've been there. You know, we watch reality TV shows and we kind of give into that culture sometimes, but it's just not good for you to watch people you hate and sit there and make fun of them to make yourself feel better. In the end, it's not going to make you feel better. It's not going to help you cope or grieve or whatever you need to do to recover from your condition, but I can understand where that comes from. But I'm really proud of myself for putting myself out there, getting out of my comfort zone, taking the plunge and saying, you know what, I'm ready, I'm going to do it, I'm going to have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to make a difference, because advocacy work is one of my biggest passions. Although, yeah, I want to be a therapist, I only want to do that part-time. I have other irons in the fire of career paths I want to do part-time as well. And as a therapist, yeah, you can change someone's life and make a huge difference, and that's wonderful. But at the same time, what do you see? Especially if I'm going to work part-time, I would see what, like 20 clients or something. So I can make a difference for 20 people. If I'm on the internet doing advocacy work, providing you with free resources, openly talking about my mental health, educating you on mental health conditions and how to treat them, do you know how many people I can reach over the internet? Do you know how much of an impact I can make? Especially for those of you right now who, like me, are struggling because maybe you can't find a therapist due to insurance, or you don't have insurance, or no one's taking new clients near you right now, whatever it is. And I actually was talking to my friend Amanda today. She helps me with video ideas a lot of the time. And I was thinking about how I'm struggling to find a therapist and the right fit, and it's been a big theme all along. So I think for this week, I'm going to make a video on 1, how to find a therapist, and 2, how to find the right therapist and evaluate, you know, what your needs are and what the best match for you is going to be. So another cool life update that ties into the advocacy work is, as you guys may know, I did TMS last year, and it was beneficial for me in some ways. I've been in touch with Achieve TMS East, which is the wonderful organization that I went to, and they connect with me online a lot and ask me to come on and talk about my experience with TMS and how I'm coping through COVID, more so surviving through COVID. And I hyped up my channel. The podcast actually went up this morning, which I was super excited about. Sidebar, I'm looking at my under eyes and they are so dry, and I put so much moisturizer on today and even right before I did my foundation. But because I didn't do that skincare this weekend, girl, and I have dry skin, you should have seen how much dead skin came off in the shower today. Oh, it was so bad. It just, I feel really bad that I wasn't able to really do my skincare as much as I would like, but what are you gonna do? Okay, so back to the podcast thing. I was terrified, and actually a therapist that is on here, YouTube, and does podcasts that I'm friendly with somewhat, he's like a YouTube friend, he asked me to not come on a podcast, but like go live with him. And I was like, I can't handle that. I can't do that. And I just did not have the confidence, and I was way too scared. And I was nervous about this podcast too. But this organization's so wonderful. The director of the organization is a licensed therapist, so she has that background, although she went, you know, the business route, which is awesome. But they really did it the right way. She called me, we talked on the phone and touched base about what we were going to talk about. They let me review the podcast before it was uploaded, which was great. And they're just a supportive, wonderful organization. And really, I'm going to link the podcast down below. But even if it doesn't work for you, what do you have to lose? Because their patient care is out of this world. Best patient care I ever received. Honestly, I wish that they had therapists within the TMS, because I feel like they would be so good. So anyways, I have so much anxiety right now, just even speaking. I am sweating and I feel really shaky, even though I had lunch recently, and this is super annoying, super annoying. I don't know how I feel about this makeup look. How do we feel about it? Look at my brain go, 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 go. This is what it's been. It's really, it is what it is thing. And no, I hate that statement. And as a therapist, I'm never, ever going to say that to my clients. I'm sorry, that's not radical acceptance, which this therapist I saw for the intake told me that that's what she says to clients. And I was like, no, that's traumatizing for a therapist to say that to me. No, thank you. And if that's helpful for you, if you're someone who loves tough love or harsh realities, I don't know, then good for you, but that is not my thing. Sidebar, NYX liquid suede lipsticks retail for $7. They are my new favorite lipsticks in the whole entire world. I was not happy with the Jeffree Star lipsticks I got recently, and I am happy about that because I really don't want to support him anymore. Even though I'm using his palette for this look, I don't plan to repurchase anything. I haven't done all of my makeup on camera because I would be sitting here for an hour and no one's gonna listen to me talk for an hour. So I'm gonna do my lipstick and then I'll do my highlight and I'll tell you my final lift update and we'll wrap up. Isn't this lipstick my color? It's just, I'm meant for bold, bright colors. I never thought that would be the case, but it is. All right, while I'm doing highlight, I can actually talk to you. So, two more things, actually. I want to mention that although, as I've mentioned, I've had trouble in support groups and had bad experiences online, I am in a Facebook group for one of my favorite TV shows, Psych, and it has been the best experience. The best experience. There is no drama in the group. No one even really needs to moderate anything because everyone's nice and we just talk about the show. And so last night I posted in there, things have been really negative online and I've been really struggling. Thank you so much to everyone in here for giving me a positive experience in a place where I feel like I belong. And the post just like blew up. Tons of people are really supportive and nice about it. And I was so hyped about that. I thought it was amazing. And I'm really grateful for that experience in the group. So I don't know if it's the case for all groups that you're standing TV shows, but that might work for you. I don't know. It might make a difference to just connect with other people on a common interest and spread positivity and all of that. So if you like Psych, come through, come chill with us. I can invite you to the group. Let me know. And my final life update. So I did talk about this in my mental health update a wee bit, but I believe I said that I was considering going back to school to be a personal trainer. So if that is the case, which your girl be scattered nowadays, so it may not be, but shortly after that, I did enroll and I started and I'm making my way through my classes, and oh, it's been such a good thing for me because I love learning, and it's one of the most calming things to sit there and study, like, you know, find all the answers to the quizzes, because unlike college with trick questions, they're all self-explanatory and actually in the textbook if you just poke around enough. And there's all key terms. I love sitting on Google Docs and copying down key terms to study. I love that Google Docs has a voice typing feature, so I can do that as well. It's just overall freaking awesome and been a really, really good experience so far. The school itself, oh, they're even more supportive than when I was in college. You can call or email them anytime if you have a question. And even after you graduate, they help you with your business ventures, and they guarantee your success in the industry. I have always wanted to be a personal trainer. I've always been really interested in exercise. And although I talked about in my last video, my relationship with exercise has been unhealthy along the way. Right now, I feel like I have a really, really good balance with exercise, and I am so proud of that, honestly, because it's taken a long time to get there. I will say the walks can be a little disordered. I like walking, and sometimes it's just that I have so much freaking nervous energy that I just have to get out and move and talk as fast as I can, or listen to music or whatever, because my thoughts are just going and going and going. I feel like when I set my face with setting spray, it's very comical to watch. So let's keep this in. Ready? Oh, my false lashes. Oh no. Don't they recommend like 3 sprays and I do 1,000? But oh, it's so satisfying. Okay, so anyway, I have multiple business ventures I'm considering. As I talked about previously, I eventually want to do coaching with a mental health focus. I am not going to be a personal trainer that is trying to do body and aesthetic goals or help you train for a competition. I am going to be entirely wellness focused and helping people find sustainability in a healthy lifestyle and a balance with diet and exercise. So yeah, you can eat cake sometimes. Like, you don't need to restrict yourself. I took a wellness class in grad school and I just fell in love with that area, and I think I'm going to incorporate that into coaching eventually too. I also obviously love makeup and want to be a self-taught makeup artist. So as I get more experience practicing makeup on other people, that is a huge plan for me, and I'm really excited to have all different irons in the fire. But my brain's going, and although I'm getting some ideas, I just want my brain to stop. And there will be a separate Instagram for my personal training once I'm certified, because I'm Julie Counseling. It doesn't really go with counseling, so it has to be a separate thing. But if any of you are interested, I plan to be an online trainer and do workout plans, meal plans, that kind of thing, because I am going to take a nutrition course as well. So if you're interested, keep in touch with me on social medias, and I will announce when I'm done with my training and have all of that up. And I'm going to be right back with the finished look. I am back. Here's the finished look. Thank you so much for listening to my ramblings. I really enjoy filming Get Ready With Me's, and you seem to be more receptive to them than the little makeup tutorials, although those are very easy and fun to edit. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. Leave a comment down below if you would like, as long as it comes from a kind place. You can follow me on my social medias. My Instagram is Julie_counseling. My Twitter is Julie Counseling with no underscore. My Facebook page will be linked down below as well, as will my podcast that came out today with Achieve TMS East. It's only 20 minutes. Please check it out if you want to support me, and I think it will be helpful to you as well. I'm talking way too fast, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye guys.